Hi, everybody. It's Matt. This is Bomb Shelter. Welcome. Today, special episode. This is probably, I think I say it every time. It's like my favorite episode. This one is so special and near and dear to me. My guest was one of my first mentors ever and one of my best friends of all time and somebody that God, I don't think I would be here if it wasn't for this guy. That's right. I will stand on that. I would not be here if it wasn't for this guest. Taught me most of what I know about being a comedian and also being a person. I've gone through some hard times with this guy, and he's always been there for me. I never really had a older brother or anything like that, and I wouldn't say older brother. This guy's more of a. He's my brother, and he's older, but it's more like, man, I don't. A mentor, I guess the best way to put it, but a friend. He's special. Let's put it that way. Special person in my life who happens to be an icon of our American culture. He is somebody that I've actually known my whole life before I even met him because he was worldly famous for as long as I've been alive. And some really fun conversation on this episode. We got deep into his rise as kind of comedy royalty into his own comedian and beyond. I mean, this guy has had just an insanely amazing, different, successful career. And I am so glad that I had him and I get to share our bond with you guys. And God, I really am excited about this episode, and I can't wait for you to watch this and hear this and be a part of this. So with that said, please enjoy my interview with Pauly Shore. Pauly Montgomery Shore. Look at us.
Yeah, look at us.
Underground.
You did what I asked you to do.
I did.
This is good.
Yeah.
This is good.
You tuned me up.
You're a good-looking guy, dude. You got to put yourself out there.
You know
what I mean? Handsome, flamboyant.
Flamboyant.
Yeah. Well, I see you move on. I see how he moves on stage. You ever seen his act? He's very flamboyant.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Which is good. That's the LBC, bro.
Yeah.
No, that's good. So, you should have a podcast.
I should. I'm so glad this was, you're very responsible for a lot of my whole thing.
Yeah.
You were one of my first mentors ever.
I believe in you.
Yeah, man, you always believed in me. Even when you had me stop working with you on the road because I was bad at selling your merch.
Well, that's because you were being an asshole.
I was.
You're being you're righteous.
I was
There's
arrogant.
A lot of flies you try to get rid of, but there's going to be flies down again.
We're in a bomb shelter right now, right?
This is what it is. No, I'm happy for you. My heart goes to every comic. I sit in the back of the mothership. I watch a Fuzzy.
Yeah, we love Fuzzy.
Yeah, but he's gotten better.
He's so good.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and then I asked him if he was a regular. He's like, I don't know. It's kind of like a gray area here. We don't put names on the wall. So he's good. For you, I've known you, since you first started.
Yeah.
And then, so I've seen you come a long way, and you got way better being out here, which I think was the smartest thing for you to do.
Well, I got a lot more stage time as soon as I got here.
Yeah.
But I had I got here, I was probably doing comedy for already 17 years by the time I moved here, all at the Comedy Store.
Yeah, and around. Yeah, all around. And, but yeah, you got your confidence and, you're good. You know what I mean? So now you're a single man. Are we allowed to talk about that, or is that too soon?
Of course.
You're a single man, so you fly like a bird?
Yeah.
And you guys are all flying.
We're all flying.
This is
everybody's
good, right?
Everybody's doing great.
You know what I mean?
Everybody's happy.
That's what it's about. Everyone,
needs
to prosper.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's interesting because you told me last night what your mom said about comedians and couples. That was that hit hard. Mitzi didn't like comedians.
No, she didn't. My mom, Mitzi, who started the Comedy Store, which all this stuff is spawned from the beginning, she was always against comedians being in relationships. It was always because it was a distraction. I mean, for both sides, for women and men. It was just, it's hard because, being a stand-up comic and being in this business, you're very selfish. You know what I mean? And if you have other things in your brain, distractions, It's tough,
Yeah.
especially if you're trying to establish yourself, and especially if you're trying to get, like Dean Del Rey would say, yeah, you got to get the butts in the seats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you got to like make a name for yourself. So if you're in a relationship, it's tough.
Yeah, I
you know?
used to be when I was a door guy. I would remember like these fucking
The flies are, we don't
they're
like the
killing
flies.
me. We were so. By the way, right before you got in here, this fly. Watch this. This guy loves me. You getting this? You getting that? He flies on me, and I just can't kill him.
He's like Buster.
It's like Buster Boy.
Boy, it's like my dog Buster.
I can't kill him, so.
So just have him
He's
sit
part
on
of
you
the
like a
podcast.
parakeet, yeah.
He's on the team.
It'll be called the bomb shelter and the ant.
Yeah,
Or the,
we'll collab this with them
Yeah,
when we
yeah.
make the clips.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, it's comedians are very insecure, and we're very trying to figure it out, and we're very loners, real comics. Look at Louis C.K., one of the best comics in the world. He's always by himself.
Alone.
He's always by himself. And I think it's best that way for comics because, women and even women comedians and guys, it's like we're like this all the time.
Yeah.
And if you're out with your girlfriend, you're like, what's wrong? You know what I mean?
I think
It's hard.
when you're trying to find your voice in stand up, it takes all of you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're in a relationship, you share parts of you, sometimes more parts than others, and I think that takes away from like that journey that you're on.
But also you guys were in love, and that was beautiful too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
You
we
guys-
met through comedy, and it was,
Yeah.
it was it
And you guys could get back together again. Maybe it's just a break. You guys got to go do your thing, get your cadence, and maybe come back because you do love Jewish women. Oh, la chaim, la
you
chaim.
guys make great women.
All right. Anyways, she usually doesn't laugh on the Posehn podcast like this.
Oh, no,
Every time
she-
I see the Derek Posehn podcast, it's quiet in the background.
I don't know if that's a rule for them, but actually, Val filled in one time because there was another guy, Josh, great dude, great engineer, and owns all this. He couldn't make it, and she came in.
And you're like, she's way
Well, I just
cooler.
like the
vibe.
laughs and the feminine energy over
Yeah.
here. And,
That's what I was saying earlier. You're what?
What?
Flamboyant.
Okay, you got me.
She's gonna.
You got me.
That's cool.
Prove me wrong. But
How does my body look? Because I know you guys got a shot of my body. Do I look fat?
no,
What
Pauly.
do you think? I was at Equinox today, like
Just
this.
kind of relax your shirt a little bit, and then you're good. Yeah.
this?
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Pauly-
Let's put a shout out to Nick Schwartzen, who just had this crazy appendix surgery.
Yeah.
Did you see that on
I
his
did. I
Instagram?
saw that literally today, right before I came
Fuck,
in here.
man.
One of the greats.
Yeah.
One of the all-time greatest, funniest
Yeah.
dudes.
It's wild. Life is wild, man.
Yeah,
you
man.
know, and it's fucked up because the social media even makes it more wild.
We have another shout out to the legend Tom Dreesen, who
Oh, wow.
I love. I
Yeah.
love Tom Dreesen.
Yeah.
That one hurt me, man. I got to meet him a few years ago because by the time I got to the store, he wasn't around as much. But you probably known him forever. It's actually funny enough. Tom Dreesen, similar to your dad in that both
That
went on
era,
the
yeah.
road with those major acts that were
Yeah.
not comedians.
Yeah.
Was your dad went out with?
Yeah, my dad was he was the number one, number two. That was like his shtick. If my shtick's the Wheeze,
Yeah.
his shtick was like Brother Sam, which was like the preacher thing, and then it was also the number one, number two. So he was a clean comic, and he dressed perfect. He had a beautiful suit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He always dressed really nice, and he would open for all of them. Elvis Presley. We talked about that before. Sammy Davis, Barbra Streisand, Mickey Gilley. As a kid, I used to watch my dad on at the Harrah's in Lake Tahoe.
That is
and
so
he was, he was going in front of thousands of people. With Elvis, he went on tour with him for like 10 years.
Yeah.
So he like opened for Elvis for 10 years. So my dad toured with him on the plane and stuff like that.
Can
So,
you imagine
yeah.
opening for Elvis?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Kind of like when you open for the Wheeze, right?
It's exactly like that, yes. Well, it's like you've opened for bands.
Yeah.
That's something I open for bands. That's like kind of my regular gig. So
Yeah.
it's a different thing.
It's a different
But
thing.
you know
yeah.
what? The OR especially kind of prepares you for all kinds of stuff. Because
Yeah.
especially the OR is not easy.
No.
And you really got to learn to connect.
Yeah.
And I think
yeah.
when I'm at my
Why is
best.
she moving around? It's freaking me out, bro. Now she's getting a different shot.
when I am
scares me, bro.
when I'm at my
a lot of movement.
we're all done moving
It's
now.
not just
the flies.
It's not just
Layne
flies.
staying put.
He's handsome, by the way. This
He
guy.
is handsome.
Wow. Are you on Hinge?
Another Jew. One
Are
of
you
you.
on
One of your
Hinge?
people right there. Look at that.
You're on Hinge. Why aren't you on Hinge?
He has natural charisma.
Find him in the wild.
He's not
Oh, you find
thirsty.
him in the wild?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's scary to
That's
find
supposed
girls.
to
What?
That's how it's supposed to be.
It is supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just meet a girl at like Asahi, like heaven or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah,
what is it,
anywhere.
Juice Land or something.
Right. Oh, dude, you meet a woman at Juice Land, you marry her. That's my dream. Layne loves Juice Land. That's why he's there all the time. Trying to find a honey for his honey berry. So
How's my stomach? Is it okay? Is I fat?
no, you
Am I
look
fat?
great, Pauly.
Yeah, cool, okay.
You look great, man. You've
All right.
always looked
I'm just
great.
kind of putting my. I don't want you to see my legs. I just came from. You know what I
can't.
mean? I was in Alaska.
We don't see it in the shot.
You don't see it. In the
That's
shot.
crazy because some of my earliest memories of Pauly are your legs, like those short shorts you'd
No,
bring up on
I
stage.
had nice legs. I just don't want the girls' vaginas to get wet.
Oh yeah,
When
you're
they're
right.
watching this, like, oh my
Right,
god,
right.
his legs, blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's
I
too much of a distraction.
I'm trying to hide them, bro.
Good. Thank you, man.
You know what I mean?
It's better for the show. I appreciate you, dude.
So I lived with you for a while across the street.
Yeah,
We lived at the Sienna Towers.
that was so fun.
the way this awesome place is set up, you got Joe Rogan's Club here. 2 blocks away is the Thompson Hotel where he puts the comedians, and attached to the Thompson Hotel is the Sienna Towers. And I had a place there for about 2 years, which is this downtown area, and I got out.
He got
Yeah,
out.
got out,
It
yeah.
was a studio apartment in
Yeah.
the sky,
Yeah.
and it was so fun.
And I got
we
to
were
see
neighbors.
Tony Hinchcliffe's apartment along
Yeah.
the way, and I'd masturbate and see him.
Yeah.
Oh, Kill Tony. That's
know.
that guy from Kill Tony. Oh, Tony, man.
When I used to live up there too, we used to do a thing because Tony's terrace, you could see my part. You could literally see
That's
my
a great
unit.
idea for a podcast you guys should set up. Tony's Terrace.
Tony's terrace. That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't think he needs any more podcasts
Yeah,
though.
okay, go
That
on,
guy's
sorry.
busy. But you know what I always wondered? What was the first time you ever even went on stage? Like, how old were you? If you were born
I was
into this
17.
17.
17,
And
yeah.
it was at the Comedy Store? I'm willing to bet it
No,
wasn't.
it wasn't. No.
Yeah, because you
No.
you-
No. It was a place called Alley Cat Bistro. It was a fish restaurant that my dad was running.
Oh,
Yeah. But in Marina Del Rey. It's like a restaurant. They did comedy night.
wow.
Yeah.
I love how your dad would book you, but your mom wouldn't.
Yeah, that's how it was.
You got passed at.
Yeah, at the fish restaurant.
fish
Judd
restaurant.
Apatow used to go there too. He talks
yeah?
about it all the time.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was a great room.
Oh, that's cool.
Because my dad lived a block away, so he's like, "Fuck, I want to do comedy,"
Mm-hmm.
and so he would go. He'd do a night there or a weekly thing there, and it was cool.
What was it like going up there at 17 for the first time?
It was, you know what? It was my first time ever, and I said to myself, "I'm gonna bomb." You know what I mean? I'm gonna bomb. It's my first time ever, and I actually killed.
Whoa.
I did really well. Not my jokes, but like all my comments that I said when my jokes didn't get a laugh.
Yeah.
Like that got the laugh.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
Those
you
are
know?
the first laughs we get.
Yeah, when you're not.
When you're like, all else fails, you're like, well, that sucked.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
realness
yeah.
of it.
Yeah. Well, you got to be authentic. I think that's the most important thing. And to be on stage and you want to like kind of command the room, but you also want to play the room because you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. Because even last night we did 2 shows and they're completely different.
Oh, they were?
Oh yeah, the first show.
The one that I did was great. The second one,
Yeah.
I love that
It was
audience.
so much fun
That
last
was
night.
so good. Your
Yeah.
shows are always fun, though.
Fun, yeah.
I mean, everywhere we go, in any town, they're fun. I mean, if you're going to see Pauly Shore,
We had so much.
you are
fun
not
in-
a serious person.
Yeah. We had so much fun in Eugene. Eugene was fucking.
Eugene
great.
was crazy.
Yeah.
That new club.
Yep.
Shout out. What was it? Orson
It was Olsen Run.
Olson Run.
Olsen
Olson
Run,
Run. Yeah. God, that was great. Yeah, we went in. There's mean hippies. Remember how mean the hippies were in Eugene? So weird. I
And they
would have
didn't
thought
like
hippies.
Buster. I got banned. Didn't I get
Yep.
banned from a coffee shop?
Oh my God.
How do you get? I got
Oh
banned
my
from a
God.
coffee shop. My dog.
And I watched it all go down. I got there a little bit late, and as I'm walking up, this girl is talking to him, and I'm thinking,
I think she was trans.
well, sure. Okay, this they was talking to him, and I'm thinking this is the manager coming out to introduce herself to Pauly Shore, because that happens all the time.
Yeah, 'cause I'm a
You're gonna get some
superstar.
free stuff. You're a
You know what I mean?
superstar.
Superstar.
They're gonna pet Buster, get him water, get him treats. And as I walked up, I mean, the vibe was not that. It was very much, you gotta go.
Right.
And then I walked up, and then she's like, "Hey, don't come near me." And I'm like, "Oh," but apparently Buster's barking,
Yeah.
and you're not doing anything about it.
No, what happens is if it's a service animal, which it still
Right.
is a service animal because
Right.
I need, what is they like? What does it service you for? I don't know, love, affection, friendship, companionship. That's what it's not like it fucking teaches me to walk across the street or like do things like fucking write for me or answer my calls. You know what I mean? He serviced my emotion, But my dog is a lab chow husky, so he makes noises.
Yeah.
So the problem with the trans he, they, she at this fucking coffee house is she wasn't cool with the Buster making a little noise, and that was it.
Yeah.
Because service animals aren't supposed to say anything. They're supposed to be comatose.
Yeah.
I think that's like the thing.
Yeah. It was a whole weird thing. And I mean, you literally, the town
I
kind of
was
rallied, because
pissed.
when we talked about it on stage,
Yeah.
everybody was on your side. And
Yeah.
there's a whole thing. But okay, so you do stand up for the first time at your dad's restaurant.
Fish restaurant.
Fish restaurant, 17 years old. What was the next time? Did you start stand up from there, or did
Yeah,
those
I know. I
times?
started.
And that was
good.
it.
And then I was like, oh shit, this is easy.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And then the next 10 times I bombed.
Of course.
I did really bad. I got to burp 1 sec. Excuse me.
Go ahead. Got to stand up for that. You burp off camera. We could edit it out.
Yeah, you might want to edit it out.
What are you gonna?
What? No, I had a smoothie from the Sun Life Organics.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Farting or burping?
No, I was about to burp.
You lost it.
Yeah, you got it. Sunlight is the one we don't go to.
The what?
That's what we don't go to that one.
Yeah, we're Juice Land people.
Yeah.
We're trying to meet our wives. So you start stand up, and then the next 10 times you're bombing. When do you go to a club for the first time to perform?
Well, I didn't. I stayed away from the store.
Yeah.
Why? Well, because for obvious reasons. I didn't want to.
I just wanted you to tell the people. I know.
Well, they know. I mean, if it's your mom's club or your family business, it's good to go away from that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I went away from that, and it was I don't know. It was all over town. I played L.A. Cabaret. I played Igby's, which was an office Sepulveda. I played I went to New York. Played Catch a Rising Star.
Wow.
Went out there. I played Dangerfields.
Wow.
In New York, which was Rodney's place.
Dang.
I played those places. Laugh Factory a lot. I played
Yeah.
the Laugh Factory on Sunset with Jamie.
Yeah.
Before the Laugh Factory is the way it is now, because the way it is now, it's like a pretty big club.
Yeah.
Before it was just kind of like a hollow, thin room. And Jamie would be he would be in charge of the drinks, and he'd also host the show. So he'd kind of like do the drinks and then run up on stage and host the show. And that was there. But connected to it was a Chinese restaurant called Ah Fong's, which was a very famous restaurant. If you Google it or go online. Do you guys throw clips and shit or things that we talk about
Yeah.
in this? Oh, that's going to be sick. So you throw Ah Fong's in there. It was like a Chinese restaurant. And we used to all go there. And then Jamie bought Ah Fong's and then knocked down the wall and made it a big Laugh Factory. So that's where I started.
Whoa. Interesting.
But yeah, I wanted to, I wanted to practice, away from the store. So
Yeah, during this era, when you're not performing around your mom, what's going on? Have you talked? What's her interest level of your comedy at this point? Is she curious what you're doing out there?
I think it was probably mixed. But that's a good question. Like Rogan never asked me these questions, right? This is more like the Matt Egger experience. This is it right here, right?
Train all day, Joe Rogan at night, or Matt Egger at night, all day.
But it's an interesting thing because during that time, I think it was mixed, and there was a lot of like tension, and she told me she wanted me to do stand up. He's gonna be funny, and then I actually did it, and then she started to get kind of embarrassed, and she was so busy trying to do her own thing, and You know what I mean? So it was kind of mixed, I think. for
Yeah.
her,
And also, this is in the 80s. So you got to think what the store is like in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a big, major club at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking probably, I mean, who do you got there at the 80s? Jim Carrey's probably there.
You got Jim Carrey, you got Howie Mandel, you got Paul Rodriguez, Dice, Roseanne, Kennison. You know, these guys are popping.
That Comedy Store Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, it was just like popcorn, just like star, 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 star.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
pretty wild.
I mean, there had to have been a pressure on you because you know at some point you are going to go to the Comedy Store and you're going to have to face your mother, who happens to be the final boss when it comes to, I mean, the ultimate gatekeeper.
Kind of like your father is with Trump,
Right.
right? You know what I mean? He's your fight, right?
Yeah, I mean, I never saw that until now, but you're dead on. So when do you get that courage, and when do you think you're ready, and when do you finally approach the Comedy Store? to
Well,
perform?
what happened was I had other comedians write a lot of my jokes. What? I mean,
Who?
Angel Salazar.
Oh,
Yeah, he wrote my first joke. And then who else? Argus and Binder. I don't know. They all kind of helped me write jokes.
Wow.
But it wasn't me. It was like someone else writing the jokes.
Yeah, but
then I would always end with pop locking.
that?
Pop locking.
oh
Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? I would always end with like freakazoid. You know, it's a freakazoid. Come on and wind me up. Dun, 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 dun. You know that song? Yeah. And I'd come out with a boombox. I had like a Jewish boombox.
Is that the Angel Salazar part that he wrote for you?
Yeah. No, it's a boombox, and I painted it like the color of the Jewish flag. So I painted it baby blue and white. You know what I mean? I put like quarters on the fucking things. You know, did a whole thing, and at the end, I pop locked. You know what I mean? My pop locking was good, but my act was bad because I was doing other people's jokes. You know,
I mean,
that
I
they
can
wrote for
imagine
me.
you going from Argus style to that. I mean, what a hybrid. You got some Argus in you, some Angel Salazar. Those guys cannot be any more different.
Yeah, so I was just trying to figure it out, you know?
And so when you get there, what happened? When you perform at the Comedy Store for the first time, was Mitzi
Yeah,
there?
it wasn't good. Yeah, I did bad.
In front of Mitzi.
Of course, yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
what did
It was
she
really
say?
bad. It was bad. It was very bad. But I don't want to talk about this a lot. It's in my documentary. I'm not going to tell them all the story here.
All right, well,
You
this
know
is
what I mean?
we're-
I'm not going to do the whole story here, but I mean, it was bad, but eventually MTV and things happened, and all of a sudden I blew up.
Okay, well, that's been our episode, everybody. We got the long and short of
You know
it.
what I mean? I can't
there you
give
go.
you all my shit.
Yeah, y'all-
You,
shit.
you
This-
know what I mean?
This is we're
we can talk about your girlfriend and your exes.
yeah. Let's do. That's what the
all
yeah.
your
That's-
exes, bro, and the babes and all the stuff you
Right,
show me
right.
on Instagram.
Yeah,
You know what I
we're
mean?
gonna start calling this show just Shelter. So we're bombing.
There's other bombs. Like, you want to talk about my bombs? There's bombs.
Oh, we're getting to the bombs.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
wanted to hear about you
Yeah,
bombing
that
in
was-
front of
it-
Mitzi.
Yeah, it was bad. It got bad and it got ugly, and I moved out and all that stuff.
You moved out.
Correct.
From your
My mom's house. Yeah.
So that's what happens
This
when
is
you're
episode 2 of my documentary. Anything.
when you're Mitzi's son.
Yeah.
And you bomb, you get kicked out of the house.
No, it was just tension.
Yeah, right.
You know, I mean, family tension. Mm-hmm. It's not about your mom. Sometimes it's about sibling tension.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's your sister, your brothers. There's tension.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of tension with my mom.
What did your dad think of you being a comedian? He's the comedian. You're walking in his footsteps,
Well,
essentially.
he was, at first, he was proud of me because I was doing it. But then when I became known, I think it was harder for him, because I was known and he wasn't.
Yeah.
So that was kind of, a
Sure.
thing for him. But then he became proud of me.
Right.
So it's like I think it was a mixed feeling for him.
Of course. That had to been a lot for him.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, like your mom, I mean, she watched you become one of the big comedy stars that's when she was breeding stars back then. You actually took the initiative and went out elsewhere to learn.
Yeah.
When do you start getting good? Like,
Just a couple weeks ago.
I saw you last night. It was way better than a few months ago when we were in Portland.
That's true. I don't know. I just, I don't know. I love it, and I think when you love it, then it comes across that you're. I don't want to say you're good, but you. I love being up there, and I love fucking around and doing shtick. So I don't know when I got good. I don't know. I don't know.
When does the momentum start? I know that there's we could easily graze over the MTV stuff and the movie career, but I'm talking kind of a little bit before that. Like when eyes start, it can't be enough just to be Mitzi Shore's son. Something had to been brewing.
No one knew that. Once I made it, no one knew that.
Whoa. Okay.
No. It was just I started acting.
And that's a whole separate thing.
I started acting. I did stand up, but I started acting, and that's when I started really landing stuff. And I got my own apartment. I paid my own. I mean, since I was 19, I haven't took a dime from my mom.
Wow.
I started paying my own rent. My rent was like $500 a month. I had a studio apartment in West Hollywood, and I started landing guest leads on shows and movies and all that shit. This is way before MTV.
Oh, okay.
Way before MTV.
Right. I guess I could remember little parts of you, and especially in your documentary that you made. Like, there's like you did sitcom stuff. Like
I did St. Elsewhere.
Okay.
With Howie Mandel and Denzel Washington. It was a big show. St. Elsewhere was huge. It was on NBC. It was like one of the biggest shows. Millions of people saw it, and I had a guest lead on that. I played a dramatic character. My girlfriend was dying of cystic fibrosis, and I played this punker, and my hair was fucked up, and it was cool. And the girl playing my girlfriend, I forgot her name, but she was great, a dramatic actress.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a comedy.
No.
So you were being serious.
Yeah. No, the MTV, the MTV, I always think about this. I think the MTV was good and bad for my career. It was good because it kind of catapulted me into Americans' homes, and then it also got me to get all those films. But it was also bad because it did that. You know what I mean? Because I was on the trajectory to just act. I mean, you could be sitting across from a fucking young Tom Hanks right now if I fucking didn't do MTV. Because I was acting.
Wouldn't it be a young Tom Hanks?
I'm younger than Tom Hanks.
Yeah, well.
Right now I am.
Right now. Well,
Yeah.
You've always been.
Yeah. But you understand what I'm saying? If I didn't do MTV and I stayed acting, who knows where my career could have gone?
Sure.
Do you understand?
I really do understand.
Because MTV would have never happened.
Absolutely.
And I was just acting. I mean, I was doing a lot of movies and a lot of TV shows as an actor, not as a comic.
Right. I understand that.
Yeah.
But I am so glad you got MTV.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, the movies, all those things, like
Yeah.
that is you. I can't imagine a serious actor, Pauly Shore.
Okay.
This was like this is what we.
Wait till you see my second Richard Simmons short film coming out.
I will be, and I will be seeing the whole film when it comes out.
Yeah,
I can't wait
sure.
for that. I mean, you've looked like him forever.
Jesus Christ. All right.
All right, get back here. Get back here. Get back here.
No.
Okay, so now let's say you're cooking. Let's skip through the MTV. Everybody knows about this, and then the movies, and you're becoming
He's
a
one
big.
of the best podcasters in the business, this guy. You know,
Hear that,
now I
Joe?
know why you guys are staying close by. Not this Derek Posen and Hussein fucking
Hussein.
Osama bin Laden motherfucker. That guy, Hussein Colonel Sanders. You know what I mean? Baldy on the fucking run.
We love Hassan here.
Oh,
we
sorry,
love
no,
Hassan and Bomb Shelter. That's Hassan Amadi. He's a great comedian.
He is great.
And he's a
I
great
got stories
podcaster.
about him and Derek.
Oh, yeah?
When they first started.
Oh yeah, did they go?
course.
Did they open for you? You didn't give them the.
No, because they were too young.
Yeah, right.
They were too young. They were like really green. Really green.
Yeah.
Really
yeah.
green, yeah.
No, I remember the first time I opened for you. It was Las Vegas with your dad, actually.
Yeah, we were at South Point, right?
South Point,
Yeah.
yep. And I wasn't good yet, and you
You
took
did
me.
good. You
I did okay, but that was. I remember your dad got a really big pop because it goes me. I bring up your dad. He brings up you. When I brought up your dad, I mean, the place erupted. He's Vegas famous at this
Yeah,
point,
yeah.
you know. So let's say we're a few years into the awesome rise of Pauly Shore movies, TV.
Wait, one sec, go on.
He's doing great. He's getting bigger, stronger,
Why
meatier.
is he not looking at us? I'm performing for you too.
Dude, he's writing this all down. He wants to read the transcripts later. So now you're like a big headliner guy, right? And you're out there doing shows. Oh, you know what though? Before we get to that, I want to talk about a little bit about your the run with Sam Kinnis. We could you became his opener in a time. Were you already headlining on your own and sometimes opening for him, or was he the first guy to take you out and
No, he
show
was
you?
the first guy that took me
and
out.
and
yeah.
this is probably during MTV or before MTV?
It was before MTV.
So, okay, so you're actually getting a real road experience with
Yeah.
Sam Kinison in front of actually big crowds.
Yeah.
So at that point, he's a monster.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How were those sets?
Well, it was eye-opening. You know what I mean? It was, I'd been, L.A. and New York, playing those places, and then he took me to the middle of the country. So he was able to take me to Boston and different places like that. And it was good, though. I wasn't bombing. I was doing good.
Yeah.
Because I just had my 15, 20 minutes.
Yep. Was
and
it just you and him?
I think there was some that were me and him, and they might have had a host. But one of the biggest shows I ever did with him, which was fucking awesome, was it was the year before he passed away, and it was the Aladdin Theater. It was New Year's Eve, and it was the order was Pauly Shore the ninth. Wait, no, it was Sam Kennison. It was Pauly Shore, and it was Tommy Chong.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that was like the New Year's Eve thing. That was pretty cool.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And you're still just a
and
kid.
it was like 6,000-7,000 people. It was in Vegas.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
What at what point do you stop working with Kinnison? Is when he died, or did you start branching off before that? Because I imagine that.
No, I became known. I was becoming known on MTV.
Right.
But he died before Encino Man came out. Oh. So he never got to see the films. Oh. Yeah.
But you were on the rise, though.
Yes.
And he got to see that.
Well, my mom got to a point where my mom was like, he should be opening for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was starting to, and he was starting to go down.
There's a real argument. I'd say you got bigger than Sam Kinison.
Okay.
You were a movie star.
Yes.
Yeah. He's obviously a legend, but you kind of became an icon, like a 90s Gen X icon. That's why I opened for you. I still feel it. In the room, people are bringing VHSs for you to sign.
Whoa. That dates me, bro. Why you saying the fuck, dude? You can say DVDs.
Okay.
You know
We'll
They're
step it
bringing
up
the
a notch.
Blu-ray. They're bringing
Yeah,
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray, yeah.
No, we're not at Blu-rays. No, we're not at Blu-rays. These are DVDs at best.
No, I'm happy. I'm happy with what I did, and I'm still in shock. Which is why I still go on tour. Because I like the love that I get from the people.
Yeah.
And it's pretty wild that I emotionally touch people, you know what I mean, with the stuff that I did. So it's nice to see that and feel that, especially with this climate when everyone is trying to get known. And I'm watching them all going, have fun. I already am known. And I already did it. You guys keep escaping to try to get that known stuff. It's like, I'm already in your heart. I'm already in their hearts. You know what I mean?
Feel it 100% when I'm with you, man.
Yeah.
When we do those shows, we are back in it. And those people look at you like, you are not even real, And then they meet you.
Yeah. And then, no, but that's why I like doing these Comic-Cons.
Yeah,
I sign autographs at the Comic-Cons,
Right.
and it's so much fun. At first you're like, oh, this is weird. And you're like, oh my God. Like, nostalgia is bigger now than ever.
Sure.
And because of the desensitization, is that a word? Desensitization of the world. Yeah. Everything is so like this, and there's no emotion.
Yeah.
So it's like, to have those run of films that I did, and to have that affect those people emotionally is pretty exciting for me.
Yeah.
And it's pretty groovy. Yeah.
And after all these years.
Yeah.
So as you're headlining on your own and you're doing big shows and you are a star, do you ever run in any adversity out there? What would you say be your worst bomb that you could think of? And I'm sure it had to have happened.
It was tough to perform back then because it was festival seatings. So festival seating is when people don't sit.
Right.
They stand.
Yep.
So, you know what I mean?
For your shows?
For my
headlining?
shows, yeah.
Because you kind of...
I played a lot of rock clubs and theaters where there's no seats. Yeah.
And I would say, and tell me if I'm wrong, but that probably is a product of the type of fame that you got from MTV, being a person who broke these bands, being so music, like you're so close to the music scene. And as a headliner, obviously a stand-up comedian, but you weren't like the other comedians.
No.
You were more in music.
It was more, yo, bro.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the jokes.
Right.
It was about the vibe.
Right. Right.
So I always had a band open for me when I went, like the Spin Doctors opened for me. Yeah, they opened for me for a long time.
That's insane.
And then they would come out and do like a half hour, and then I'd go 45, and then I'd bring them on, and then we'd do like my Lisa Lisa song.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
that
yeah,
one
yeah.
song, Lisa Lisa. And then I had different songs that I would do because, you know, every comic thinks they're a singer. So I'd always like start grabbing the mic and just start singing because it was fun and stupid. And then I'd stage dive and it was pretty cool.
Oh,
you want to? I told this. Who the fuck did I tell this story? It wasn't on a podcast, but I'll never forget. You know, you're as a person, we always remember like certain moments, and I'll never forget this moment. Oh my God, it was like the peak of MTV. I was spring break man. I was on the spring break. I think Encino Man maybe just came out. My album was coming out. You know, it was like I was on like this big tour. You know, I had buses. You know, the whole thing, and I remember playing. I think it was San Angelo, Texas, and I was playing the college. And whenever you play a college, they pay you a lot of money. You know, they give you like a guarantee, but it's a free show. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because that got built into the kids' tuition. You know, the entertainment. Yeah. And I remember playing, it was an outside lawn at San Angelo, Texas, and there was a stage, and there was probably like at least maybe 15, 20,000 people there to see me. And I was fucking like full wheeze. My hair was out here. I had my boots with my scrunchy little things on. I had my tights. I had my jeans. I had my knit shirt. That was my mom's. And then I had my vest, and I had my scarves, and I had my glasses. And I'm like walking down like these stairs, and the sun's setting, so you could see it's like twilight. And I have like probably 10 security around me. And I felt like Michael Jackson. It was the one time that I felt like Michael Jackson. You know, if you see Michael Jackson with security, and I start walking down, and everyone sees me because they can see you walk down, and they just fucking went nuts. And I was like, oh shit.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
In the doc that I've been working on for a while, there's a lot of Super 8 footage of that era and that time, which is why I filmed a lot of the stuff, because I couldn't believe it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you had arrived.
Yeah, it was wild.
That's why it's like you had reached icon status for sure.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
And what's it like following a band? You know, I open for bands, but I can't going up after a band, especially the Spin Doctors. Were they popular at that point?
No, they weren't that popular. You know, they had just kind of started, and they were signed to CBS, which was why they were on my tour, because I was with CBS. That was my label at the time, and the label wanted them to open for me to give them exposure on the road.
Wow.
Yeah, and this is before MTV. Yeah.
Wow.
You know, I remember bumping into Chris, the lead singer of the Spin. Did I tell you this recently?
Yeah.
Yeah, at the bathhouse in New York. You know, recently, I don't know, like about a year ago, and I remember when he was opening for me, he was, you know, they were unknown. Look, I'm holding this like a white girl would hold a black penis, in a Pornhub fucking video, right? You girls know the Pornhub? Yeah.
They don't have that here. We're in Texas.
Right. Oh yeah, that's true. This is a liberal joke. Okay. Anyways, so at the time when I was filming my MTV show on the road, I wasn't allowed to interview them. MTV corporate said no, because they weren't an MTV band in rotation. Their videos were not in rotation, so legally I can't interview. I'm like, dude, I fucking want to get you out, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Trying to get these guys out there.
Yeah, you see it in them.
Yeah. They got hits.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then eventually 6 months later, they're all over MTV.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, I interviewed Bruno Mars too. I told you that.
Yeah, not just Bruno Mars, a 4 years old Bruno Mars. Incredible.
Yeah, I remember
and he was
that.
charming and witty as a kid.
He was a little Elvis impersonator.
Yeah.
That was his thing. I mean, we were at spring break, and they came up to me and they said, yo, this little kid wants to be on. Yeah, I don't even know if his shit aired. I think we just filmed it.
It's on the internet. I found it.
No, but not on MTV. It wasn't it wasn't like on the spring break special.
Oh, right.
It was like, I don't think we were allowed to.
Right.
But I was like, no, we got to film it. So I made them film it, you know, and we filmed it, and he did like Michael Jackson meets Elvis Presley in person things, you know. So he was like, you know, Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
You know, when you see little Tiger Woods.
A little
like,
prodigy.
Yeah,
just was
like,
born with it. Touched by...
Did you realize that was him? Like, years later, we're like,
years later. Yeah.
Like, that's the kid. I remember that.
Well, that's what people would say. People would say it to me. It's like, dude, that was Bruno Mars. And I was like, oh, yeah, shit. You know?
Wow.
But, you know.
Incredible.
What are you gonna do?
When you go up after a band, like, I mean, I guess those people, that audience was there to see you,
Yeah.
right? They weren't there to see the Spin Doctors.
Right.
So it probably wasn't as, like, it was followable. You could follow that.
Yeah.
What, did you ever open for bands like your dad?
Well, I toured with, Limp Bizkit a lot, you know what I mean, which was cool. Fred, I was just emailing with him. He's in Europe right now. I was in a lot of their music videos.
Yeah, I
We talked
remember
about
that. Yeah.
And yeah, they would go on tour. I'd bring them up once in a while. Oh, you know who was dope that I opened for was Alice in Chains.
Whoa.
That was sick.
Holy
that was at
shit.
the Hollywood Palladium.
Whoa.
Yeah, I brought
I
him
love
on
that
stage.
place.
And that's when Layne was still alive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and who else? I don't know. Warrant, the band Warrant. There was festivals. I would do that. I don't know. Back in the day, yeah.
Such a different type of career you've had than any traditional comedian. It's actually is kind of a lot like Kinnison. I mean, Kinnison worked with bands and
Yes.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
So it's,
but he was really good at playing piano, and he was good at playing guitar, like really good.
oh wow,
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
know
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah,
he'd get up on stage with them and rock out.
Yeah, for sure.
so cool.
Kind of like Mark Maron. Anyways, no, I'm just kidding. Mark Maron's pretty good.
He's good at guitar.
Yeah, he's good at guitar. Yeah,
He's also good at podcasting.
he is.
Yeah.
Not as good as you though.
I watch. I learn from. We
Yeah,
stand
but-
on the shoulders of giants. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, what would you say, if you could remember, would be your worst bomb?
I remember, because when I was coming over here, I knew that was the premise of your show. So I haven't bombed a lot. I've had shitty moments on stage,
Yeah.
but like a real bomb from top to bottom, it's been that not really.
It's almost like an interpretation of like what you would think a bombing is to you. It doesn't have to be just the quiet for the entire time. But when you
A
walk
bomb
off
is a
going, that
bomb.
fucked me up.
Yeah, a bomb is a bomb. Like a real bomb, like fucking from top to bottom. That's what I experienced. And it only happened like one time, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Like from top to bottom. Like
Sure.
I've had shitty sets.
Yeah.
And shitty moments on stage
Right.
where you're not getting laughs.
Absolutely.
That happens all the time.
But we're
But
talking-
a bomb. I mean, it's called the bomb shelter, bro.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give you your brand.
Thank you.
This is it. So it was Gotham in New York City. It was probably about 15 years ago.
Cool club.
And they were not there to see me. I was just kind of on the show, kind of like how,
It's like a showcase?
Yeah, showcase thing. And no one knew the fuck I was, or they knew who I was and they didn't like me because I'm California weirdo
Yeah.
guy, and that's New York.
Sure.
And my stuff is kind of like, I don't want to say not smart, but it's silly,
Yeah.
goofy,
Right.
and shit like that. And they don't like that. They like more heady stuff, like Louis C.K. stuff, and more like jokey jokes,
Yeah.
And it just every joke that I did just got worse and worse. And there was these gay guys like going like this in the front, and it just got really bad. And I like said something, and that got worse. And then I started sweating.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, it seemed like the longest 15 minutes I've ever had in my life.
What it just you think that it was just the crowd not liking the LA-ness? Was there like at any point did you try to turn it around? Like
Well, yeah, you always try to turn it around when you're eating shit.
did you did you I mean at one point though at
What?
one point
That's true.
you know that it's not turning around. Was there like a submission type give up or like do you start phoning it in? Like what do you
No,
do
it's
when
like
you're
begging-
mid-set?
I was begging for the light to come on.
Yeah.
It's like there's if you don't know if you're a comic, there's a light that's in the back when it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
So it's waiting for the light to come, and then when the light came on, I'm like, all right, I'm like, Jesus Christ, get up on stage. So it was pretty bad. So I mean, that's the thing about like I don't know, like when you play places that are not there to see you. Let me say it again. When you perform in places that are not paying to see you, and then they know who you are and they maybe don't like you.
Sure.
So you get that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't fucking like Pauly Shore. I don't like his thing. And so you get a combo of that. So not only are they not there to see you, they also don't like your style.
Sure.
Or you like your thing.
I think, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that there was a little bit of a dark age of Pauly Shore, and probably around the time I started, when I think you got so famous. I'm gonna compare it to Dane Cook because I watched his whole ride. I was a real big fan. I was like that demographic, right? And I watched watched him be the most popular comedian. The albums were doing great, and he touched like my friends. We all love Dane Cook. We could quote his jokes. By the time I start stand up, I think in just the way fame works is that it's almost like it touched the top of the mountain. You can only stay up there so long until your turn is over. And on the way down, you're kind of kicked the whole way down. And it's almost like he became a joke. And then once people could start doing impressions of him, like when the Pauly Shore impressions started, it's almost like I just saw a thing too where it was who was the guy? Oh, George Carlin had it too. Somewhere in the 80s, George Carlin kind of became a punchline. And they would do him on Second City. They would do, I think maybe it was Rick Moranis or somebody had cracked the code of what he, how he tells jokes, how he does things.
Yeah.
It becomes a joke.
Really, the thing is, like, for me, I didn't handle it good, emotionally.
Yeah.
It fucked me up really bad. I definitely took it personal. I wrote a movie called Pauly Shore is Dead about it, which actually to me was the best thing I've ever done in my career regarding, the art. You know what I mean? You've seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty solid. I was with Vincent Gallo recently. Vincent Gallo, the actor, he's kind of obscure. And he's like, dude, that movie was fucking dope. You know what I mean?
I loved it. I got the DVD.
Yeah. Pauly Shore is Dead.
Not the VHS.
Anyways, but the thing that's really hard is not taking shit personal. You know what I mean? And it's hard not to.
Yeah.
But you're supposed to. Look at Trump, for instance. He's like, any negative thing that happens, he's like, okay, great. Anyways, you have to be that way in the business when things start to go south, or if you do a special that's not good, you know what I mean? And people are like, don't let it. That's what I did. I went like this. I started believing in everything, and it fucked me, and I lost my smile, and I lost my joy, and it was a tough time. You know what I mean?
I would say that was around the time we met.
Yeah.
I would say the mid 2000s for you. We weren't in the 90s anymore. We were kind of well out of the 90s.
Yeah.
And I think that Pauly Shore became a joke, and it's just a product of your success. It was just the pendulum swung the other way.
The backlash,
And that's when, because I meet you, you're my age now when I met you. Like I remember your 40th birthday. And I remember thinking, like, to me, you were always what I grew up as. Like,
But the thing is, I told myself that I was a loser. Do you know what I mean? I told myself I was a has-been.
Yeah.
I told myself, you know what I mean? Which is fucking retarded. You know what I mean? But I was just, you know what I mean? It's kind of, I got beat up really hard, and I let it affect me, and I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
You know
well,
what I
how
mean?
do you know how to deal with that? I mean, you're in your 30s. You know,
gotta
like,
be more meticulous. You got to be more type A, I guess. Where you kind of like, oh, that's a product, and now let's do business.
Yeah.
One of the things I've talked about before, is that when things slow down, I shouldn't have fired my agent and my manager.
Yeah.
I should have just said, let's take a break.
Right.
As opposed to like, and ever since then, it's been hard for me to get agent and managers. You know what I mean? Because of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is, so I've been doing it myself, which it is what it is. But what are you going to do? The one thing you can't do about life is beat yourself up either. You know what I mean? Like, you cannot beat yourself up off of choices that you have made. Otherwise you just go into a funk. And I stopped doing that a long time ago. Yeah. I mean, after Pauly Shore is Dead, I've been pretty much fine.
Yeah.
I've been kind of like up and down.
It was almost like that was your way of like purging that feeling.
And because, as an artist, you have to write what you know. You have to, look at Alanis Morissette. That album she did was brilliant because she just broke up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? With Dave Coulier, I guess.
Jagged Little Pill.
Yeah. And she was going through, so for Pauly Shore is Dead, I mean, when I'm crying in the fucking cell and the voice of Adam Sandler comes in and I'm bawling, that's fucking real. You know what I mean? Because I was starring in movies, and now he's fucking starring in all these movies, making $20 million. And I'm fucking really bummed. You know what I mean? So that's why that movie is fucking good, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking raw.
No, it really is.
You know what I mean?
There's a
it's
scene where you get the old door guy job at the Comedy Store. You become a door guy again, and you're sitting out there with the shirt. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Pauly Shore, keep it going for Pauly Shore. You remember him from the movies, yeah. So I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. What are you gonna do?
Well, I think like
the problem is a lot of us, and it's not just me. We make decisions off of our emotions as opposed to what's up here. You know what I mean? That's not good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And we get, you know what I mean? And that's not good. That's because what winds up happening is you fuck up a lot of things. You know, and lately I have not been doing that. Lately I'm more kind of like the work is over here, now business is over here.
Yeah.
You know, and but that comes with I guess time and experience.
there's something where
you know.
I think like I said, in the mid 2000s, you're watching other people at the Comedy Store. I mean, it's also a dead time for stand up and the Comedy
And
Store.
my mom was dying.
And your mom was dying.
My mom, people are like, why is the store so fucking da-da-da-da-da? I'm like, because the owner's dying.
Yeah.
And it starts from the top. So it's like, everyone was trying to, it was like this fractured place, and everyone was trying to keep it together for her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
right.
it was, Tommy was there, and it was light, the door was light, but I did Minding the Store. I don't know if you remember Minding the Store.
Of course I do.
That was a big show on TBS, and that was, they spent a lot of money, on promoting me in the Comedy Store, and that actually saved the store at that time. That brought in, it was a huge commercial. It was TBS, so it's like I was in New York doing all the shows, and it was treated like a big show, and that money that I gave my mom from that, and then also just the awareness publicly that the show did brought in people, and it was cool. We had billboards, and
I remember those.
It was great, So
Yeah, and that's like I think at the same time as the store starts growing back, Mitzi leaves us, and then things started changing. I think some of the guys that she had found that she had developed starting to get famous.
Well, what happened was Brenton Biddlecombe took over the social media.
Right.
That's what happened.
Yeah, I remember.
And then
that.
social media took off, and then Rogan was there every night, and Chris D'Elia was there, and all these guys that were popping.
Yeah.
Who else? I don't know. A lot of guys.
Oh,
And
I mean,
then-
Sebastian's blowing up. Segura shows up, Bert, and those guys. But then also our own people, like Ari Shafir's getting famous, Steve Renazizi, and
He was
just
on the
all
League
these
and all
guys.
this,
And I will always, I will always shout out John Caparulo, because there was a point where he was like the best.
Yeah.
But these guys, I think they held it, they carried it to a place, and then the store, everything kind of blew up. And I think at that time, because let's say if the mid 2000s were the Pauly Shore dark age, I think when the Comedy Store started getting popular again, it almost organically, and maybe it's podcasting and people talking about it, like Marin or Rogan and Bill Burr, but you became kind of more, you went from, movie star comedian to joke for a little bit, but then I think as the store is rising back up, I think there's an inherent appreciation for Pauly Shore, because the Comedy Store is now back in the zeitgeist, and it's like you can't talk about the Comedy Store too long without mentioning Pauly Shore, the prince of the store. And so I think that naturally your star is starting to brighten up again, but I think a lot of it was your mind shift. You stopped taking the hate seriously, stopped taking yourself seriously. Now it's fun. I mean, when I watch you on stage, it is fun. Everything, and you really have a sense of who you are to these people. The way they look at you, you know what they see, and you know what they want, and you when you show up to their town, you give them the full experience. I mean, we're out there slinging shirts after the show. They get to touch you, they get to be close to you. They go home with a picture. You said it best. The ticket, the money that they pay for the ticket, is really for the picture after. To get next to you. The show's a great thing. It's a great show, but really, what they're in it for is just to get close to the icon and the memories, the nostalgia, And it's a beautiful
It's
thing. And I
wild,
watch
yeah,
people
it's
react to
wild,
you
yeah.
that they don't react to other comedians like that. It's a different thing for you and your fans.
Well, I don't think I'm a comedian, but I think, I know Tony said it the other way. Tony says you're a comic first and an actor second. And it's like, I don't know, I love acting. That's why the Richard Simmons thing is really important to me. You know what I mean? Because I really feel connected to that story and I want to do it because I love acting. I mean, the reason why people are in the seats is because of my acting, not because of my Netflix special. They see clips of me, but they're there because of the acting,
Right. I just think that, like, no matter what, you could be all those things, but that's what makes you different than any comedian. Like, you are Pauly Shore. I mean, that name, that's like, you're famous, but you're also infamous. And I throw around the word iconic a lot, but I mean that. It's like you are like that 90s. If you took like a time lapse of the 90s and you compressed it into like 10 seconds, that whole decade, for every year it's a second, like Pauly Shore's gonna like like of all the things. You get OJ, you get Pauly, you get Bill Clinton, like you get all Arsenio for a second, like the ghetto Taco Bell, that dog. Like you get it's all pressed in there, but Pauly's got a bigger piece of that. So, well, anyways, my friend, I love you, man, and thank you so much for being my mentor and one of my best friends of all time. And
I would like to add.
oh, yep, let's hear it, Val.
So I am young, so observing comedians for this long, and especially all the ones who've had an experience at the Comedy Store, I would say that you doing the hard work of pursuing things on your own and going your own way was so important for every comedian that had a relationship with Mitzi, because it was like, this is her personality whole. So like, even Pauly is not in this space getting a version of Mitzi that we don't see. And so it shows how genuine she was and everything she did. Every story is like, oh, she was a character who knew exactly what she wanted and how it was going to be. And like, nobody had a special inch in that per se.
No.
And so I really am grateful for you and the stories that you tell, because it shows how important it is to always believe in yourself and to pursue that, to pursue yourself.
And you didn't take the easy road. Like, you're starting at a restaurant, you're going to the Laugh Factory, you're doing, it wasn't just like because you're Mitzi's son. I didn't realize that people didn't know that as you were auditioning for things.
No,
and
they didn't.
it was just pure.
Just a guy, yeah.
Yeah.
My first audition ever was for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. It's online. If you go online, you could see it.
Wow.
Go Pauly Shore, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure audition. It's there.
What were you auditioning for?
For the role of Keanu. Keanu got.
Oh.
It was down to like me and 6 kids. So it's me and my friend Donovan Leach, this guy Josh Richmond, Alex Winters, and Keanu Reeves. Those are like the last.
I could see it.
You know what I mean? We made it to the end.
Dude, somewhere in a bizarro universe, you are the star of The Matrix. You are the one. All right, brother. I love you, man. Thank you so much for everything.
Yeah. All right, guys. Later.